So that's a wrap for Mo and me from Phoenix. Now it's on to Dodger Talk with Bob Harvey back in Los Angeles. Bob?
Okay, thank you, Charlie. I got to tell you, this one here tonight, it was tough to watch. Dodgers get pounded by the Diamondbacks tonight, 12-3, 12-13-0 for Arizona, 3-12-0. That's right, 12 hits for the Dodgers, and left the bases loaded early, and that more or less set the tone for this one. We welcome you to Dodger Talk on KFWB News 980. I'm Bob Harvey, and thank you in advance for spending part of your Friday night with us. 866-933-9898. That's our number, 866-933-9898. Singular wireless users simply hit pound 980. Singular, the new AT&T. Your world delivered. Another tough outing tonight for Esteban Loaiza, who has pitched one very good game in his 4 starts with the Dodgers and now has a 1-3 record in a Los Angeles uniform. Rudy Cianez, Eric Stoltz, DJ Holton, Roberto Hernandez worked out of the pen tonight. Cianez, the only reliever not to allow a run tonight. And it was pretty much the same old bugaboos tonight for the Dodgers that have hurt them throughout the year. The lack of defense, the lack of overall fundamentals, and, of course, the lack of hitting with runners in scoring position. Dodgers left 11 men on base. And when you look at the Diamondbacks, you say to yourself, here's a team that's hitting .248. They're last in the National League in hitting, and they've got just an enormous number of youngsters on their roster and in their starting lineup. But do you realize that since the All-Star break, this Arizona team is 40-24? That's the best record in the major leagues since the All-Star break. And Arizona, by the way, with the best record in the National League as we speak. The Diamondbacks at 87-67. And Dodger fans, in terms of the magic numbers and so forth and so on, this party is just about over. The Dodgers now trailing the Diamondbacks by 8 games in the West with 8 games remaining. So a Dodger loss this weekend or an Arizona victory, one of them, Dodgers are eliminated from the West. There is still a slight possibility of something happening in the wild card race, but those, of course, would be slim and none, and slim has left town. Dodgers 7 back of San Diego with 8 games remaining in the wild card. And, of course, to make it the longest of long shots, Dodgers trail Milwaukee, Atlanta, Colorado, Philadelphia, and San Diego. So tonight, I just want to get your take on what you've seen. Does it look like to you that the Dodgers are still battling, or does it look like maybe they've packed it in for the year? 866-933-9898. Let's get the calls going. First up is Alex from Van Nuys. Alex, welcome as always to Dodger Talk. How you doing?
Hey, Bob, if you take away those really good defensive plays, it could have been worse. I mean, Loney made a spectacular play. It made the top 5 on ESPN Baseball Tonight. You know, that diving catch that he made on that line drive where he left his feet. And Ethier made a great play, and Gonzalez made a catch. But what I wanted to say is that, you know, you said it too, that Kemp, for whatever reason, he doesn't play over the weekend, right? He didn't play Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
And then he plays a doubleheader both games, and he don't start the last 3 games.
Yeah, he set out the last 3 games.
Yeah, and Gonzalez was 2 for 12 with 2 singles, left 5 guys on base tonight, didn't move a runner. Of course, he got a 2,500 hits on a bad hop single. But, I mean, is it because, like, when Milton Bradley was there and Jeff Kent, he criticized Bradley for not hustling, and so that wasn't good. And now he criticizes Matt Kemp for hustling too much, or what?
Well, what do you think, Alex? They got to blow this roster up and start from scratch?
They got to blow it up. And you know what? Jeff Kent should just retire. I said he's just a cranky dude, maybe go to the American League. Like, it was so ridiculous, like what you said, is he wants experienced guys. Well, how did he ever get experience? By playing.
You've got to play.
And this is a good group of guys, that the first and second year players. And I wanted to dispute something. After I called last night, you had a guy call. It sounded like he was on the Dodger payroll, and he sounded like he was saying, well, the 05 team, they were 71-91, and Grady turned it around last year. They won 17 more games. You remember that 05 roster with that lyrical Hesop Choi at first base?
Yeah, and
Jeff Kent was the only guy that year. He went 29 home runs, 105 RBIs. Bradley and Drew both played 70 games, were done. They had Ricky Leday play 110 games. Well, made no signs that Antonio Perez were playing third, and Cesar Atsuris was splitting time with Antonio Perez. They had, it was a really bad team. And if Grady Little had that team, Bob, he would have only won maybe 50 games or 60 games tops. So to say that, Grady turned it around last year, he had 100% better roster to turn it around with.
Well, who is the bigger blame going to be placed on by Dodger fans when this season's over?
Well, I would say Ned Colletti. He got the guys in there, and who decided to leave Loney down in the minor leagues, it was ridiculous. It had to be Colletti's call. And if you really said, how many different lineups did he use last year? Like, what is a team like San Diego? How many different lineups have they used in comparison to the Dodgers? A different lineup every game, it seems like.
Well, all I can tell you is that, and darn it, we're up against a break, but thanks for calling, Alex. All I can tell you about, thank you. All I can tell you about San Diego is that the last two series with the Padres, I swear to you, that they have used virtually the same lineup, same guys hitting in the same position. And I've been a proponent all year of continuity, use the same lineup. KFWB News Time. 10:11, time for traffic on the ones, and a very good evening to Richard Turnage.
Thank you very much, Bob Harvey, and good evening to you. Hello, everybody. 110 freeway, we're going to start there. That's the Pasadena freeway. Southbound near Avenue 43, a crash. 2 or 3 cars involved. One of those cars flipped over. A traffic lane is blocked. So if you're heading on the southbound Pasadena freeway, extra caution needed as you head toward downtown. Also an accident 101 eastbound at Tampa Avenue. 2 cars on the right side of the freeway there. In Orange County, 22 westbound at Brookhurst Street. Collision there. Just 1 car involved. This car reportedly ran over an orange traffic cone in the middle of the road and spun out. So CHP is on the way to help that driver out. 10 eastbound at Soto Street, a crash. Car went over the side, according to CHP, and they're investigating on the shoulder. And also look out on the 91 eastbound connected to the 605 northbound. That ramp is closed because of an accident. Your next KFWB traffic on the ones coming up at 10:21. I'm Richard Turnage, KFWB News 980.
The series between the Diamondbacks and Dodgers is sponsored by Ziering Medical, making headlines with natural hairlines. Call 877-ZM4-HAIR.
With the football season underway, you know you want a big screen HD TV for all the action. Where are you going to get it? Eric Tracy for the experts at Ken Crane's Big Screen Headquarters. And something else this month, it's Ken Crane's at the LA County Fair. Visit the Ken Crane's Pavilion and enter to win an all-day VIP fair package that includes great seats at the closing night concert. Also check out the biggest plasma on the planet, Panasonic's 103-inch plasma at the fair this month. You know you want a big screen. Where are you going to get it? From Ken Crane's Big Screen Headquarters and at the Ken Crane's Pavilion at the LA County Fair.
Hi, I'm Vin Scully. This year, more than 1 million people in the United States will be diagnosed with cancer. Cancer affects all of us, but you can help. Think Cure, the official charity of the Los Angeles Dodgers, supports innovative cancer research and treatment at City of Hope and Children's Hospital Los Angeles. Join our team. Visit thinkcure.org or call 866-554-CURE.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the beautiful Morongo Casino Resort and Spa, Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions proudly presents Fight Night, Friday, September 28th, featuring WBO World Junior Featherweight Champion Daniel Ponce de Leon with an impressive 32-1 record with 29 big knockouts. He'll be taking on Reynaldo Lopez with a record of 28-4-2, 19 by knockout, plus an exciting undercard.
Hi, I'm Oscar De La Hoya. Join me in person Friday, September 28th at Morongo Casino Resort and Spa as I kick off Golden Boy Promotions Live Boxing. Golden Boy is proud to partner with Morongo to bring the best boxing action to Southern California. See you there.
Live Friday, September 28th. Fight Night. Only at the beautiful Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster or at the Morongo box office. Call 866-328-2024.
Wondering what to do this weekend? Now you can find all the fun local events that are happening around Southern California each week by logging on to KFWB.com and clicking on This Week in SoCal. Here you'll find great tips about things to do, from family festivals to special movie screenings, live music and theater, art shows, cultural and museum events, and more. And best of all, many of the happenings featured at This Week in SoCal are free. In addition to events, you'll enjoy finding special merchant offers that can help you save money on the products and services you buy. So plan to take the family somewhere fun this weekend. Just log on to KFWB.com and check out This Week in SoCal for more details. And while you're there, be sure to register for weekly email updates so that you'll never miss another fun local event. This Week in SoCal. Just one more way KFWB.com helps to keep you in touch with what's going on.
KFWB Dodger Talk, sponsored by the new AT&T and by Hooters Hotel Las Vegas. Sleep with someone you know. Book your room online or call 866-LV-HOOTS. Nissan of downtown L.A., where the customer is always number one.
The Dodgers suffer their sixth straight loss, a season high, as they fall to the Arizona Diamondbacks tonight, 12-3 in the opener of a three-game series. Should the Dodgers lose again in this series, the Diamondbacks will have mathematically eliminated L.A. from the National League West, and any combination of Dodger loss and a Padre win equaling 2, and the Dodgers can kiss their wild card hopes goodbye. We welcome you back to Dodger Talk on KFWB News 980. This is your show. This is your hour, 866-933-9898. And, of course, Singular Wireless users, pound 980, Singular, the new AT&T, your world delivered. Right out to Los Angeles. And I've mentioned it before. I'll say it again. Love having Kate on Dodger Talk. Kate, how you doing tonight?
Hi, Bob. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Well, Bob, here's some problems that I'm really concerned about. Tonight is not about Grady. For me, I mean, we know how I feel about him. Mm-hmm. I'm really concerned about Ned Colletti. Because what kind of a GM gets a pitcher like Loaiza that we have to have for next year for $7 million, gives up Brett Tomko, who, if you've heard, he was a little. I mean, I don't know if I never really liked him, didn't think he was good, but since he's been in San Diego, they've let him go back to the old way he pitched. Apparently, he was not happy with what the Dodgers had him doing. Dodgers
were working on his mechanics, and yeah, he didn't feel comfortable.
And Bud Black, who was a ex-pitching coach and a pitcher, even though he's the manager now, they've done some things, and he's pitching the way he normally did. He has 2 wins already.
Right.
So what I'm saying is we pick up someone who obviously is not going to be helping us.
Well, here's the deal, and Kate, Dodger fans are listening and probably saying, but wait, you can't have it both ways, because I know the Dodger fans were ready to run Brett Tomko out of town on a rail.
But I didn't know. You know, I don't know what they were doing with him on the side. I never really thought they should have signed him in the first place. But instead of letting him go, why do you sign someone like Roberto Hernandez? Why is he ever on a team? I mean, a good GM doesn't go out and get people like that for a franchise who's supposed to be a storied franchise. It's very frustrating.
Well,
I mean, he should never have been in a Dodger uniform, ever.
I can go down the list here. Jason Schmidt, Brett Tomko, Roberto Hernandez.
I mean, there's a lot of them,
yeah.
And I worry. I am tired of being a team that is like the welterweight, like Vinny said, going up against the heavyweights.
Mm-hmm.
It's an embarrassment, and what he's doing is spending too much money on people that are no good. And a team like the Padres, they seem to find little out-of-the-way people that really help them that are much better than anything we go spend money on.
I don't know if you read it the other night. No kidding, I visit about 20 websites a day.
I've read them all.
And on one of them, they quoted Greg Maddux as saying, the clubhouse in San Diego is the best he's ever been in. Now, that's saying a lot from a guy who spent all of those years in Atlanta and Chicago and a year with the Dodgers.
Well,
he said it's a joy to come to the ballpark. He just loves the San Diego atmosphere in the clubhouse. So that tells you a lot.
Yeah, well, it does. I love some of these young guys, but unless we get some power and can stay in games like other teams instead of 800 singles.
Right.
We're never going to be anywhere, and I don't know that Ned gets it, because he likes this mix of used up veterans with the young kids. I mean, they've got, I know that the Diamondbacks don't have good averages, but they have a lot of young kids that can hit home runs.
Well, right, and so do the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, I mean, the Colorado's offense is so far superior than the Dodgers. It's a joke.
Well, and you're looking at two, and they're both young teams. These guys aren't going anywhere.
So what Ned is doing is scary to me because I don't see how he's going to get it better with his philosophy. Mm-hmm. That's what really scares me. I mean, we need a really great manager. I'd love to see someone like Kirk Gibson. Even I know they interviewed him and they didn't take him, and I'm sure he would have been better as Orel Hershiser because at least he knows. I'd love someone that gets with a pitching staff that knows what to do with them.
Well, all I hope, and
I mean, this is really frustrating. Tonight, forget it. I mean, the Dodgers just look like a joke of a team right now.
Just kind of
it's a joke to be the Dodgers and to spend this kind of money, which you don't have to be doing, and to not be anywhere. The Padres don't do it, and they find better players.
Well, Kate, I want to thank you for calling. I've got to do traffic here, but I do want to follow up on one of the things, and thank you again. I know we'll hear from you before the end of the year.
Okay, thanks, Bob.
All right, thank
Appreciate
you.
It.
Kate brings up a good point, and I hope that Ned and or Grady listen to this show from time to time and hear the frustration in the voices of Dodger fans like Kate. And I know we've got Lou on deck. He's going to, I'm sure, be very passionate about what he has to say. And I just hope they listen. I hope that it's more than just the PR director listening. And I hope the word is getting to the proper people, to the management. KFWB News Time. 10:21, time for traffic on the ones, and once again, Richard Turnage.
Thank you, Bob. In East L.A., 10 freeway eastbound past Soto Street, a crash. A car went over the side, according to CHP. They're on the right shoulder trying to help that driver out and possibly calling for a tow truck there. Be extra cautious here, 10 east near Soto Street. 22 westbound at Brookhurst Street in Orange County. Crash there. Just one car involved, a spin out on the right side of the road. And highway patrol out to that area. Also in the OC, 5 northbound at Alton Parkway collision. 2-car fender bender on the right shoulder for you to be aware of if you're out that way. 101 eastbound at Tampa Avenue in the Valley, an accident, right side of the freeway affected there. And also 110 southbound near Avenue 52, approaching downtown. Crash there, a car flipped over in an accident, and highway patrol at that location. Paramedics were there a little bit earlier. Look out for slow-going southbound 110 as you approach in the immediate area. KFWB Traffic is sponsored by McDonald's. McDonald's new Angus third pounders are hope for our beef-loving nation. 100% Angus beef and 3 incredible new burgers. Beef lovers, you may rejoice. It's only at McDonald's. I'm loving it. Next, KFWB Traffic on the ones at 10:31. I'm Richard Turnage, KFWB News 980.
Feel like a rock star with LasVegasTickets.com. Best seat to any event, championship boxing, or the greatest shows, LasVegasTickets.com has you covered. LasVegasTickets.com. They always come through in the clutch.
I always wanted to be a fireman when I grew up.
A pilot.
A teacher.
For me, it was an engineer.
Over the years, my dream didn't change.
But the rising cost of college was a big reality check.
I was determined to make it on my own, to find a way that I could pay for college.
That's why I joined the National Guard.
The Guard gives me money for college.
So I can go to school full-time and fly part-time.
My unit helps out after a natural disaster hits.
Like after a tornado.
Flood.
Blizzard.
So I get to help people, just like I always wanted.
And around here, that's almost every June.
Monday through Friday, my job might be in finance, but when a wildfire breaks out, I get called up to help control it. There's no bigger rush than being a firefighter in the Guard.
Then flying a Black Hawk.
Then leading my squad.
Then rebuilding my hometown.
The National Guard put me in charge of my future.
Thanks to the Guard, I'm becoming who I always wanted to be.
You can reach your education and career goals faster in the National Guard. Visit 1-800-GO-GUARD.com or call 1-800-GO-GUARD and ask us how much you'll receive towards your college expenses.
Sponsored by the California National Guard, aired by the California Broadcasters Association and this station.
Champion Dodge is making deals right now during their summer clearance event. Get a new 2007 Dodge Ram 1500 Quad Cab, 4 full-size doors, AC, tilt, AM, FM, CD, and much more for only $13,988. That's $13,988 with 0% APR for 72 months and savings up to $13,000. Now is the time to buy. Champion Dodge is LA's #1 choice to get a great deal. Visit Champion Dodge for an incredible deal on the new 2007 2007 Dodge Ram 1500 Quad Cab for only $13,988. Champion Dodge is located in Downey off the 605 freeway. Exit Firestone, go west, and you're there. Call Champion Dodge today at 1-800-549-1292. That's 1-800-549-1292. Or visit them at GoChampionDodge.com.
5 at this price, $6,000 rebate, $7,000 Champion discount, 0 payments till February, 0% financing on approved credit through CFC in lieu of rebate. See dealer for details.
Cellist Yo-Yo Ma, one of the great stars of classical music, enthralls audiences all over the world with his passion and artistry. When it comes to picking a cello, he tends toward Italian instruments made in the 18th century. When it comes to a timepiece, however, he favors an instrument crafted in Switzerland, the Rolex Datejust. Since Rolex introduced the first self-winding calendar wristwatch in 1945, the Datejust has become one of the most sought-after models in the Oyster line. With its classic Oyster design and magnified date window, the Datejust is every bit as distinctive as the master cellist who wears it. To see the Datejust and a complete selection of other Rolex timepieces, visit your official Rolex jeweler.
See what a new watch can say about you at Tourneau, the world's largest watch store since 1900. Tourneau at Century City Shopping Center, Los Angeles, and South Coast Plaza, Costa Mesa.
KFWB Dodger Talk is sponsored by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. The LA County Sheriffs are hiring. Call 1-800-A-DEPUTY or visit LASD.org. Jiffy Lube, the well-oiled machine, and by your Southern California Cadillac dealer.
3-1 pitch to Kent, swung on, hard ground ball, base hit to left. Here is Pierre around third, will score. Burns throws, but it's cut off, and the Dodgers have a run in. Runners at first and second with one out, and Luis Gonzalez coming up.
Well, yesterday Jeff Kent spoke his mind, and tonight backed it up a little bit with a 3-for-4 performance tonight. RBI and a run scored. Now hitting .301 on the year is Jeff Kent, but not nearly enough as the Dodgers fall to the Diamondbacks, 12-3. Welcome back to Dodger Talk on KFWB News 980. I'm Bob Harvey, and we get back to the calls here in just a second. We will ask Lou and Jorge and Mark and Raul to hang on, and we go back to Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, and we are joined by KFWB's A. Martinez. And, this one was tough to watch tonight.
To watch, to listen to be here in person for. I know I'm paid to have words for this kind of thing, but how could you? 6 straight losses after having a decent homestand and still having a chance when the week began. Now it's the worst possible thing. And the team had a 25-minute closed-door meeting, and that's the longest meeting I've ever had to wait for. And any reporter in the 7 years that I've been doing this has ever had to wait for. That was a long, long meeting. Now, we don't have any details because, as all the players said, that meeting was for us, not for you. If it had been for you, you would have been here to hear it. So I don't imagine what might have been said. I know that Grady did talk to the players, and then the players talked amongst themselves for a little bit. So maybe some things were hashed out. Maybe some things were just brought out in the open. Who knows? And maybe in the next few days we'll get some details.
Well, let me ask you where you think this thing went off the track. I mean, it wasn't the split between the youngsters and the veterans, I don't think. I don't think necessarily that it was Brett Tomko, who's now in San Diego. I mean, somewhere along the line, this thing went off the track, and I wonder if you've got a guess or an estimate of maybe when that was.
February 17th, when we all reported and we all thought this team was better than it really is.
Back in
because
spring.
I think everyone thought this team was going to be a lot better than it is. And we had reason to believe, at least on paper, and that's the proverbial little cliche there, on paper they should do this. Well, they didn't because paper isn't reality. And in reality, this team wasn't as good as we all thought. Sports Illustrated had them in the World Series against the Angels. The Angels have held up their end of the bargain because they turned out to be that good in spite of a stretch where they went almost a month without hitting a home run. And they had an ineffective starter in Irvin Santana who couldn't win a game on the road. They had some injuries as well, yet they managed to get through it, and that's what good teams do. And teams that are destined to be in the playoffs, they overcome these kind of obstacles. And this team, obviously not destined to be a playoff team. Now you got to worry if they're going to even finish at 500 the way they're playing.
You followed baseball your whole life, your last 7 years of life with the Dodgers. And how important to you is chemistry.
You know what? Not at all. To me, really, not at all. And I say that only in that if you've got talent, then you don't really need a ton of chemistry. You just need people to work well together when they're between the lines. They don't have to like each other in the dugout. They don't have to go to dinner together and share cabs, and they don't have to do any of those things. They just have to really be able to sense each other's movements out on the field, especially, say, a double play combination, or the way a pitcher and a catcher react, or the way outfielders chase after fly balls in the gap. They need to know each other's talents and abilities and be aware of each other, but they don't have to like each other. They don't have to be friends. They don't have to go to movies. They don't have to play cards. They can sit at their lockers and stare into it and not speak to anybody, as long as that when they get out on the field, they do communicate. That's the only place that a team needs to communicate. I don't care what anybody says, because I've seen it a million times over. There are some great teams that don't like each other necessarily, or don't really communicate with each other off the field, but guess what? They win games. And then there's some teams that everyone's having a party every day and they lose 100 games.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter no matter what anybody says.
Yeah, well put. Listen, I got a ton of questions for you, but I've got to run and do some traffic here and some news with Maggie McKay. We'll catch up tomorrow on covering the bases right before the Game 2 of the series. Thank you for your time, A. We appreciate it as always. KFWB's A. Martinez in Colorado. KFWB News Time. 10:31. Did I say Colorado? In Phoenix, of course. KFWB News Time, 10:31. Time for traffic on the ones. Here is Richard Turnage.
Despite the moist conditions we have out there, a car fire reported, and this is on the 10 freeway westbound near Villa Verde. Reported to be on the right side of the road, and as I click on it for details here, yeah, they're saying it's a full blaze there, fully engulfed in fire. And watch out for some right shoulder activity there. 10 westbound near Villa Verde. CHP is on the way to confirm that. It's reported to be a full car fire in that area. 10 freeway westbound near the 57 freeway. Also getting a word of a single car accident. That's in the same area, and could be one in the same. 110 southbound at Avenue 52. Crash with an overturned car a little bit earlier, and a traffic lane still blocked, according to Highway Patrol, over on the right side. And look out on the 101 eastbound at Tampa Avenue in the Valley. Accident there, right side of the freeway affected. Also 22 westbound at Brookhurst Street, an accident earlier with a spin-out involved in the middle of the freeway. Next, KFWB, traffic on the ones at 10:41. I'm Richard Turnage, KFWB News 980.
KFWB News Time, 10:32. Top stories. Jurors in the murder trial of rock producer Phil Spector deliberated for a 9th day today, but again failed to break a deadlock that brought the trial to a stop earlier this week. Spector is accused of shooting actress Lana Clarkson to death. He maintains she committed suicide. Mattel trying to save face with Chinese officials by taking the blame for the recent recalls of millions of Chinese-made toys. The company sent a top executive to personally apologize to China's product safety chief. Most of Mattel's toys are made at factories it owns in China. An LA firefighter who sued the city for discrimination after coworkers fed him dog food will receive a $1.43 million settlement. Tenny Pierce's lawsuit was scheduled to go on trial Monday. Instead, he'll get the settlement plus about $60,000 in back pay, which makes him eligible to receive pension benefits. 1 million Simplicity and Graco brand cribs are being recalled after 3 children became entrapped in them and died of suffocation. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says in each of the cases, the drop rail side of the crib was installed upside down. Federal investigators want to know if employees of Blackwater USA illegally smuggled arms into Iraq. Officials tell the Associated Press there's enough evidence for charges. There's concern the weapons could have gotten to a terrorist group. More Dodger talk with Bob Harvey coming up next. I'm Maggie McKay, KFWB News 980.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Man, if I had a nickel for every time I said that. See, I called one of those national alarm companies to help protect my business. They gave me the business, all right. Missed appointments, unreturned phone calls. So I called Bay Alarm, and within 72 hours, they were installing my alarm system, CCTV, and fire protection. Plus, I got a 90-day money-back guarantee. So avoid shoulda, coulda, woulda. Call Bay Alarm.
Call 1-800-610-1000 or visit bayalarm.com. Because when it comes to your business, what have you got to lose?
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. It was my mantra after calling a national alarm company to help protect my jewelry store. Ugh, the attitude. It was like a company full of bad boyfriends. So I dumped them and called Bay Alarm. Within 72 hours, they were installing my alarm system, CCTV, and fire protection. Plus, I got a 90-day money-back guarantee. So avoid Avoid shoulda, coulda, woulda. Call Bay Alarm.
Call 1-800-610-1000 or visit bayalarm.com, because when it comes to your business, what have you got to lose?
A paid announcement.
David Bach's Finish Rich Minute is brought to you by Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, a division of Wells Fargo Bank N.A., equal housing lender and founding sponsor of the Great American Homeowner Challenge.
Hi, this is David Bach. You wouldn't buy a home without first having it fully checked out by a professional home inspector. But what do you know about the condition of the community you plan to live in? I recommend extending your home inspection to include a full environmental report of your area. My tip for today, get your pollution report card by visiting scorecard.org. Search by zip code and within seconds receive a free in-depth pollution report covering air, water quality, as well as toxic chemical levels in your neighborhood. I'm David Bach. For more information on smart home ownership, read my #1 bestseller, The Automatic Millionaire Homeowner, and visit davidbach.com.
If you have an adjustable rate mortgage that is now creating payment problems, request help by visiting davidbach.com. That's davidbach.com. Wells Fargo Home Mortgage is America's first choice in home financing.
KFWB Dodger Talk is sponsored by Power Toyota Cerritos. On the driver's side, Motel 6. For the lowest rate of any national chain, call 1-800-4-MOTEL-6. And Carino's Italian Grill. Visit Carinos.com for locations near you. Carino's, not your garden variety Italian.
Levon ready, right-hander floats one, and it's hit over the mound to the right side. Nice scoop by Ojeda to get him. The run scores. Ethier brings it in, and Pierre goes to third. And the Dodgers take a 2-1 lead as Tony Abreu grounds out to Augie Ojeda.
Dodgers had a picket fence working early, a run in the first, a run in the second, a run in the third, but Arizona tied it in the third on the Tony Clark home run, and then scored 3 in the fourth to break it open, 4 more in the sixth, and for good measure, 2 more in the eighth. They go on to a 12-3 victory over the Dodgers. Welcome back to Dodger Talk on KFWB News 980. I'm Bob Harvey, and back to the phones we go, and here he is from West L.A., Lou, joining us on Dodger Talk. Lou, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay, Bob.
Great.
I told you I'd call and give you my prospective lineup for next year if, in the event the Dodgers don't make any big moves.
All right.
In the off season. And, assuming that after Jeff Kent's comments, he's probably not going to be there next year.
Right.
Then your lineup on the field, anyway, is Loney at first, Abreu at second, for Cal at short, and probably LaRoche at third, unless they want to hang on to Garcia Parra for another year. He's got another year left on his contract. And then in the outfield, I think you should see Juan Pierre in left, maybe Kemp in center, and Ethier in right.
Right.
Martin behind the plate. And your starting rotation is they're going to give Schmidt another shot if he's ready, and they'll probably hang on in low, and then we're strapped with Loaiza. Billingsley is the best pitcher on the team, in my opinion.
Yeah, he
I don't
is.
think they have anybody
right now.
coming up who's any arm who's coming up is going to be ready next year, and the team will finish in fourth place. These guys aren't ready yet, and they still don't have enough power.
What do they do, Lou? I mean, Dodger fans are frustrated, bordering on depressed. How can this team get back together on a 1, 2, or 3 year plan? I mean, can they get it together in a?
No, they can't as structured, and here's why. It's funny because I was thinking about how I get these surveys from the Dodgers on the internet, asking me, asking fans what their experiences on the field and what would they change, and they rate the concessions and rate this and rate that. They're very concerned with our experience at the ballpark, which is, and like I said, every professional sports franchise markets 2 teams, the team on the field and the team off the field.
Right.
And the Dodgers have certainly prioritized the team off the field, the concessions, the merchandising, everything like that, and they get 3.8 million fans. And over the years, the Dodgers organization has treated fans like we just don't know what we're talking about. As if there are these subtle nuances about the game of baseball that only the insiders can grasp.
Right.
And that we, the fan, even though a lot of us are from LA and have played baseball all year round, from high school to college to semi-pro and are coaching. We don't know. We cannot. What we see on the field isn't what's really happening behind the scenes. There's some CIA-like, weird thing that we just can't. Our minds are too small to comprehend. And they don't treat their fans like that in Boston, and they don't treat their fans like that in New York. And we're just as knowledgeable as they are.
Or Chicago.
Chicago. And what we have here is, like I said the other night, we have a Chicago Cubs West. They're going to be the lovable losers, and we're going to come out and see them. Now, do they have good young talent that could represent the core of a winning team? Definitely. But, what's interesting is I'm too young to remember the teams from the 60s that would go to the World Series all the time, the Koufax teams. But at least I had the good fortune of seeing the teams from the 70s and seeing those teams that didn't have great chemistry, but they were winners. They had we had 4 guys who had 30 home runs before the steroid era. They went about their business.
Mm-hmm.
And this Dodger team, they don't have that. You've got to mix veterans. You need a couple stars in there. And everybody talks about Garvey, Lopes, Russell, and Say. Well, yeah, they had those guys. They also had Reggie Smith, who they got from, I believe, St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
They had Dusty Baker, who they got from Atlanta. They had Rick Monday, who they got from the Cubs. You've got to mix veterans with guys. If you're going to go with just the young guys, they may win the pennant again in 2014.
Well, here's the deal, Lou, and I got to run to do some traffic here, but the thing that puzzles me, and maybe on a future night you can fill me in on this and let me have your opinion. Call me tomorrow if you'd like. But we're looking at a couple of young teams here in the Rockies and Diamondbacks who seem to be getting it done with a plethora of young players. Young, Salazar, Burns, Murphy, Reynolds, Drew, Montero, Hammock, Ojeda. I know Ojeda's been around for a while, but a good Southern California guy from Southgate. That's a pretty young lineup, not to mention the guys that didn't play tonight. Now, why is it that it seems like with this combination of Dodgers, well, I'll continue my thought here in a second. KFWB News Time. 10:41, time for traffic on the ones, and here is Richard Turnage.
On the Santa Monica Freeway, double dose of bad news. First of all, westbound side of the 10 at Crenshaw Boulevard, where a crash occurred, 2 or 3 cars, and it looks like at least one person injured, so they are calling for paramedics here. 10 westbound at Crenshaw, again, at least one lane blocked initially. And then on the flip side, 10 eastbound near Arlington Avenue, getting reports of a fender bender on the right side of the freeway. Also in the valley, 101 westbound near Topanga Canyon Boulevard, a collision, 2 cars in an accident there. The left lane is blocked initially. 10 westbound at the 57 freeway. Earlier we had talked about a reported vehicle fire. Turned out it was not a vehicle fire, but instead a single car accident. Car hit the center divider, and Highway Patrol is there, maybe blocking the left lane as well, so watch your step. And also reported 110 southbound near Avenue 52, a crash with an overturn. Been talking about that for a little bit. Just got the all clear, but heads up, again, there could still be a few brake lights that way on the southbound 110 approaching downtown. KFWB Traffic is sponsored by CerritosAutosquare.com. Get a great price on a used or certified pre-owned car at CerritosAutosquare.com. Now you can instantly search through 27 dealerships and thousands of pre-owned cars with just one click. It's only at CerritosAutosquare.com. Next, KFWB Traffic on the Ones at 10:51. I'm Richard Turnage, KFWB News 980.
Hi, I'm Vin Scully. This year, more than 1 million people in the United States will be diagnosed with cancer. Cancer affects all of us, but you can help. Think Cure, the official charity of the Los Angeles Dodgers, supports innovative cancer research and treatment at City of Hope and Children's Hospital Los Angeles. Join our team. Visit thinkcure.org or call 866-554-CURE.
KFWB News Time, 10:44. It's
until 11:15 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. For further information, turn to your local broadcast news source.
You know you want a big screen. Where you going to get it? Eric Tracy for the experts at Ken Crane's Big Screen Headquarters.
Hey, honey, did you see this J.D. Power survey?
Hey, Kathleen, I'm trying to work here.
They sent mystery shoppers into big box stores to observe customer service.
What customer service?
Exactly. And when it came to product knowledge, here's the quote, barely acceptable.
And that surprises you?
Not really. Okay, you can go back to your commercial now.
Actually, I think we're done. You know you want a big screen. Where are you going to get it? From the experts at all 10 Ken Crane's Big Screen Headquarters, including Lee Adams Discount Sales in Ontario.
That's the sound of Dodger baseball. And that's the sound of KFWB News 980. Fall is upon us, and if you're still in a job where the fire's just not burning, get out now. Hi, I'm Sean O'Neill, the General Sales Manager at KFWB News 980 and the Dodgers Radio Network, and we are in a growth mode and always looking for A-plus sales talent at KFWB News 980. If you are the best and want to work for the best, call me today at 323-930-8750. Are you motivated by money? Are you motivated to be the best? Do you thrive on competition and winning? KFWB already has a very strong sales force in place, but we're always looking to get better, and you could be that special sales talent that we need to take us to even greater performance. I know that great people are what make the difference in great companies. Join our winning team at KFWB News 980 today and put the passion back in your career. We offer excellent compensation, and CBS Radio is an equal opportunity employer. Call today, 323-930-8750. That's 323-930-8750.
If you want LASIK but we're concerned about risks, come and see Dr. Alexander Shabil right now. Dr. Shabil has removed the number one risk of LASIK, the creation of the corneal flap. This means that there is no cutting of your eye with a laser, no cutting with a blade, no cutting period. So you could get better night vision with less chance of dry eyes. Many of Dr. Shabil's patients see even better than 20/20. Call Dr. Alexander Shabil today at 800-841-3717. You will be in the great hands of Dr. Shabil, who has been voted Best of Orange County and has been featured on national television. This week, Dr. Shabil is offering a custom wave print analysis of your eyes for free. This exam is a value of $250, and right now, to the first 20 callers, you will receive this exam for free. Dr. Shabil has made LASIK affordable with zero interest and payments as low as $89 per month on approved credit. Call Dr. Alexander Shabil today at 800-841-3717. That's 800-841-3717. Or schedule your visit online at LALASIK.com. That's LALASIK.com.
KFWB Dodger Talk is sponsored by the new AT&T Tapatio Hot Sauce. Tap into the taste of Tapatio. StubHub.com. Sold out, so what? To order your Dodger tickets today, visit StubHub.com or call 1-866-StubHub. And the California Earthquake Authority, who would like to remind you that every day is earthquake season in California. Are you prepared?
Hernandez ready, and the strike two pitch is swung on, grounded fair, back a third, smothered by Reynolds, who can't make a play, and the run is in, and the Dodgers take a 3-1 lead. Mark Reynolds did a great job of smothering the ball. Otherwise, it's down the line for extra bases.
Nomar Garcia-Parra with a base hit. Dodgers come up short big time to the Diamondbacks by a final of 12-3. Certainly at this stage of the season, a lot more questions than answers. How did a team that was at one time in first place, 13 games above 500, end up in fourth place in the division, now trailing the top team, the Arizona Diamondbacks, by 8 games? Welcome back to Dodger Talk on KFWB News 980. I'm Bob Harvey. Let's head out to Encino and say hi to Mark. Mark, welcome to Dodger Talk. Nice to have you.
Yeah, nice to talk to you, Bob. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
What I want to do is I believe the Dodger organization needs a major overhaul in the primetime players, and I'd like to make a few suggestions if I could.
Go right ahead.
Okay, first of all, number one, I agree with Kate, replace Grady Little with Kirk Gibson. He's a Dodger favorite. We love him. As far as the pitching coach, I'd like to see Honeycutt replaced with Oro Hershiser, another fan favorite, since I believe he's responsible for a big part of the decimation of the pitching staff. As far as general manager, Ned Colletti, he's made a lot of bonehead maneuvers this year. I don't like him. I don't like his unflagging support that he has of Grady Little. I say hold an open audition, or maybe even make two of your longtime callers, Kate and Alex, co-general managers. And finally, I believe the Dodgers are in desperate need of a true superstar. I'd like to see them cut some of the dead weight and get someone like Alex Rodriguez, who obviously isn't appreciated in his team in New York.
All right, great suggestions. And, I was thinking, Mark, and thank you for the call, while you were mentioning Gibby, that 1988 team, the last one to win a World Series title for the Dodgers, that was not a team blessed with a ton of talent, but somehow Tommy got the most out of what he had, and with guys like, for example, Mickey Hatcher, who launched the Stuntman group and got T-shirts made. I mean, that was a special team, yes, but, can the Dodgers put something like that together, and will it work in this day and age? That's the question. Real quickly, well, I'll tell you what. First, let's take care of some traffic here with Richard Turnage, KFWB News Time. 10:51, traffic on the ones, and Richard, how's the drive out there?
Well, we got a couple of trouble spots to mention to you. First of all, on the Pasadena Freeway, the southbound side of the 110 near Avenue 52. Accident with an overturn. It has just been cleared moments ago. We're still getting indications of some fairly slow traffic through that stretch. On the 118 freeway, a new accident. Looks like westbound side of the 118 near Rocky Peak Fire Road. The two cars involved in that crash taking up the middle lane. So do watch your step there. Again, a fresh new crash. 118 westbound at Rocky Peak Road in the Santa Susana Mountains. Also 101 eastbound at Chesbro Road, a crash. That reported to be an injury collision there, a car over the side. 10 freeway eastbound at Crenshaw Boulevard, accident right side of the freeway. And also on the 110, or check that, the 10, I should say, 10 westbound near the 57, accident with 2 or 3 cars. Car hit the center divider. One of the cars involved hit the center divider, and the left lane blocked as CHP tends to that. Next, KFWB, traffic on the ones, coming up at 11:01. I'm Richard Turnage, KFWB News 980.
Halloween time is coming to the Disneyland Resort, and everyone's getting ready for our biggest, most magical family Halloween celebration ever for the Year of a Million Dreams.
Here we come!
We're carving giant pumpkins into giant jack-o'-lanterns. Farmer Goofy's growing the candy corn for the hilariously fun all-new Candy Corn Acres.
Whoa!
Yummy! We're getting Woody's Roundup ready, dressing up the Haunted Mansion, and a whole lot more.
How deliciously creepy.
And of course, some of your favorite characters are getting their costumes ready.
Wow!
So gather your family and drop in on Disney's Halloween time, September 21st through October 31st at the Disneyland Resort, and experience 2 parks filled with seasonal fun for Halloween, as only Disney can do it. Ghosts, see for yourself. Get your tickets today at Disneyland.com. All attractions and entertainment subject to change without notice.
There is a line strung across America. It's not a power line. It doesn't deliver high-speed entertainment or light up the night. It's the line that separates 37 million Americans from hope. It's the poverty line, and 1 in 8 Americans now hangs below it, struggling every day just to hang on. And every day, what it means to live without enough gets harder, struggling to feed a family, to keep a roof over their heads. Most have jobs, many have children, and every day, more hard decisions, more hard choices. But right now, you have a choice. Do you act like you didn't hear this? Like everything's okay? Or do you draw your own line and get involved? Please do something to help. Go to povertyusa.org and find out what you can do. povertyusa.org. 37 million Americans are hanging on your decision. A message from the Catholic Campaign for Human Development.
Winning is great, and it's all about the good time you have playing the game. With more than 2,000 slot machines, over 100 Vegas-style table games, and a world-class poker room, Morongo Casino Resort and Spa is undisputedly the best place to play and stay. Experience Morongo's 4-diamond customer service, 4-star accommodations, and world-class fine dining. We're ready when you are. Plan your escape now to Morongo Casino Resort and Spa, Southern California's premier gaming destination. We're just off the I-10 at the Cabazon exit and a moment from anywhere you are. Book your good time now. Call 888-MORONGO. 888-MORONGO or online at morongo.com.
KFWB Dodger Talk is sponsored by Concord Law. Change your career path by just 1 degree. And Bank of America, the official bank of Major League Baseball. And by the County of Los Angeles, who reminds you to recycle your car's used motor oil and filter. Zero waste. You make it happen.
Diamondbacks win the opener of a 3-game series in Phoenix, beating the Dodgers 12-3, and it's all over but the shouting, I would think. The Dodgers 8 games behind Arizona in the West with 8 remaining, and the Dodgers behind San Diego in the wild card race. By the way, Padres and Rockies are still playing. They're in the bottom of the 13th inning, and there is a 1-1 tie at Petco Park. Welcome back to Dodger Talk on KFWB News 980. Back to the phones we go, and first up, Raul from Whittier. Raul, how you doing?
Hello?
Yep. How are you, sir? All right. Well, let's move on to Jorge. He's been on hold for a long time. Jorge from Cyprus, welcome to Dodger Talk.
Hi, Bob. Good to be on the show.
Thank you.
First time I get to call this year. I called you a few times last year.
So what do you think?
Well, you know, I don't like to talk negative. It's been a kind of a rough and rocky year, but I had to call because listening to Grady Little in this last loss, I guess the last one to Colorado, where he's like, we brought a knife to a gunfight. I mean, I'm thinking about it, like, man, if I went to either a gunfight or a knife fight, I probably wouldn't want to bring Grady Little with me because he's a nice man. He has a place in the organization somewhere, but he doesn't go for the win. He's not trying to manage for the win. And I think one of the callers said, hey, you know, we have this lineup for next year. We're probably going to come in fourth. I feel with a lot of the players we got, if we have a different manager who manages for the victory, whether it's Kirk Gibson or somebody, they have a shot to win. We have a very good group of rookie guys, and I think we actually have a legitimate team. We had one this year. And when you're favored, you know, Sports Illustrated picks you to win, and you don't, you really have to look at management and the field manager in particular.
Well, and I got to look, too, at some of the signings. Jorge, I don't know if you agree or not, but there were, to me, some questionable signings that maybe didn't lend itself towards, you know, the ultimate goal of getting into the playoffs.
That's where, like, on a different end, you know, that's where they are kind of listening to the fans, like Tom Cook getting booed. You know, so let's get rid of him. And then he goes to San Diego and does well. And we, as fans, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, that they're altering his pitching style. They're, you know, trying to encourage him to pitch a different way, and it's not working for him. We don't get to see that, you know. So there's a human factor, you know, of talking trades and making these trades and releasing guys outright. You know, I don't think it sends chills of confidence to the other players because they're just men like anybody else. I got to meet Mr. Loney, classy guy, young guy, great personality, going to be a good ball player, but they're affected, I think, on a personal level by all these types of maneuvers that just don't seem to make a whole lot of sense.
You're talking about lineup changes, right?
Lineup changes and getting rid of people, you know, here and there. You have San Diego with Kuzmanov. The guy's batting like 120. If it was up to Dodger fans, my feeling, and I'll be a lifetime fan. I've been a lifetime fan, but that guy would have been in the minors instead of batting 270. You know, probably leading the league in the last half of the year.
Right now, and on the flip side of that, Jorge, and I'm sorry to cut you off. Hit 400 in spring training, 400 plus. Won the PCL title last year, hit 400 the spring before, and he starts the year in the minor league. It's decisions like that I don't get. We will be back in a minute to wrap up Dodger Talk.
Reason number 36 to switch to Geico. Because fishing takes you to your favorite place on earth. If you love boating, you need to call Geico, because now Geico can help insure all the stuff that moves you, including boats. Great rates, great coverage, and personal service 24/7. Call anytime, 1-800-442-9253, or visit geico.com.
All right, everyone who enjoys the buying a used car experience, raise your hand. Thought so. Uncertainty does come to mind, but not if it's a Honda certified used car. They're well-maintained, late-model Hondas. They're given a thorough 150-point inspection and then backed by one of the best warranties in the business. Plus, now you can get low APR financing on all Odyssey, Pilot, and S2000 certified used Honda models. So relax, because while it may be used, it's still a Honda.
See dealer for financing and limited warranty details.
Our thanks to all of the callers. Great calls again tonight. Callers are finishing the season very, very strong. Our thanks, too, to the Dodger Talk support team, A. Martinez, Josh Cumming, Brian Pickering, our studio producer, best in the biz, Joe Franciosi. Traffic tonight from Richard Turnage and news from Maggie McKay. Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers 12-3. We'll try it again tomorrow. I'll see you after Game 2 of the Dodgers and D-backs right here on KFWB.
You've been listening to KFWB Dodger Talk with your host, Bob Harvey, on your home for news, traffic, Dodgers, KFWB.
Dodgers Radio, KFWB, FWB, 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 FWB.